Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's episode is going to be all about creating the life that you want. Today's episode is going to be all about life is what you make it. One of my favorite aunties in this whole wide world, she always reminds me that life is what we make it. And we make life literally by the way that we think and feel inside, consciously and or subconsciously, and all this messaging that has been acquired since we were in our mother's womb. And now as adults, we have a choice and we can choose what we want to think and feel about ourselves, about life, about our connections, about the potential of connections, about any circumstance, any situation, about everything and anything. We have the choice each and every single day to make our life, to make our day, to make our moment. Because let's face it, life tends to be a lot more on the challenging side than it does tend to be on the non-challenging side. And this is one of the things that I experience through my work now as a registered counselor, is that all of us, if not most of us, go through stages of our life where we feel stuck, we feel disheartened, we feel like an imposter, we feel anxiety, we feel the negative effects of a situation that has on our body, and that impact of the feeling can be detrimental to the behaviors that come afterwards. Because as we now learned in cognitive behavioral therapy, thoughts create emotions, emotions drive our behaviors. So our thoughts, yes, maybe perhaps the thoughts that we acquired that anchored in us core beliefs when we were children was outside of our control. But now as adults, we get to choose what we think and feel about ourselves and the world around us. And the only way that we can do that is if we actually become conscious of what is taking place around us. So we can either be victims of what is, or we can seize the day and seize the moment of every single day. I was talking about this quote the other day. I heard it because Jay Shetty was repeating it, that he heard from somebody else. When there is a situation that we ask God to change, God will respond, but child, I put you in that situation so you can change. And this holds hands with the concept of life is what you make it. Because you get to choose what you think and feel about that situation in order for you to change, because nothing ever happens out of like synchronous divine timing. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is always happening for us. Therefore, that situation that may feel hard is actually a catalyst to create change within yourself, so then you can step into the life and the version of self that you've always wanted to be, whether that is you are not allowing fear to hold you back from perhaps going for your dream job or applying for a certain school that you want to go to, or allowing you to not pursue connection, or allowing you to feel not good enough, not worthy. Like, what is any challenging situation showing you that it would be worthwhile to change in order for that situation to become a true catalyst to your healing and of you becoming your best self? This is Anna Morfidi with Smiling Hearts Counseling, dedicating this channel to living our best life, and I'm sharing information that I've learned through my journey to become a counselor. Not only a counselor, but also to heal all of my unhelpful core beliefs, and I've had many. I am someone who had an anxious attachment style, abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, all kinds of childhood emotional wounding and abuse. But by doing the work, I have been able to completely rewire and reprogram myself and become a version of self that I never thought that I could be. Because the version of self that I was felt like a victim to life, and now the version of self that I am will never feel like a victim to life. And even if it's the most of challenging of situations that is presented around me, and believe me, that still happens. Like, I still cry a lot because I'm like, okay, why is this happening? But then I'm really quick to go back into even that statement that Jay Shetty said, or that quote. Like, I go back into knowing that God put me in the situation because he wants me to change something about myself that is not serving me. And the only way that I can see it is if I experience this hardship. So whether it is that I don't have enough boundaries for myself, whether it is that there's still a part of myself that is nervous to own her voice, or my rejection wound is still alive in my body and wants to recapitulate. And recapitulate means to repeat a childhood pattern. So I experienced, I felt super rejected by my parents when I was younger. So I recapitulate that experience through my romantic lovers in my adult life. But if God didn't give me that situation, then I wouldn't know what I needed to heal in the first place. So no matter how challenging the situation feels, what do I need to do to change it? What do I need to do in order for me to change and become that version of self that no longer is abandoned and no longer is rejected, no longer feels unworthy, or applied to all the scenarios that I've come across this week as a counselor? Like, what situation is putting you into a position where you feel like an imposter, or you feel like a fraud, or you have thoughts like, who am I to succeed in this? Or who am I to try this out? You are everything. You are everything. Like, you are worth it. You deserve it. We all deserve everything. We are worth everything. We deserve everything. It is our right to have everything. Whatever we believe to be true is what is going to be experienced in our life. If we believe to be true that we don't deserve it, who are we? We're not good enough. How are we going to make that? If you let that negative talk overtake your power of choosing positive talk and a shift in perspective, then everything will always be working out. Like, even today I was supporting someone, and they were mentioning that they feel a certain type of situation as pressure. And then sometimes it's just a shift in perspective, because then I was like, okay, well, how about we reframe it? And can we think of it, instead of a situation that brings on pressure, how about we think of it as a container that brings on safety and support? Like, why do we choose to look at something as critical and or as something that can be detrimental, as opposed to something that can be a beautiful catalyst or a beautiful opportunity? Why do we choose to do that? Where do we learn these stories? These stories come from somewhere. That voice is not our voice, because innately, as pure souls that were brought here to planet Earth to experience this very wild school called life, we don't come with a programming that we're not enough, or who are we, imposter syndrome, anxious attachment, anxiety, worry, fear, constantly thinking about what other people are thinking, being people pleasers. We don't come here like that. We come here knowing that we are pure, unconditional love, and we are here to experience life as such. And it is true indeed that life is a school of lessons. And sometimes we might have to repeat the lessons many times until we learn them. But the situations that create the most challenging feelings from within us are actually the very same situations that are going to set us free, because they are telling you something, they're telling me something about the story that is alive from within me, that is most served to be changed. And narrative therapy is a beautiful way of using the power of pen and paper and the power of the mind to think differently and create a new narration for yourself. So write out, what do you want to be? Who do you want to experience as yourself in the future? What is your next chapter? What is it that you are wanting? Write out the story of your life and have no doubt that it can unfold for you. Like, fully trust the process. Trust the process. It's funny, I saw this quote the other day and it was like, but does the process know that we are trusting it? Yes, it does. The process knows that we are trusting it. So also watch what you are trusting in, because the process will trust what you believe to be true. So if you have negative beliefs that you believe to be true, the process will trust those and will manifest those. If you believe positive things, then again, the process will trust what you believe and bring that into your life. So now as an adult, you get to choose what you want your process to be trusting, that comes from within you, from within your heart, your beautiful soul, your beautiful mind, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind. Like, there's so much, your nervous system, there is so much going on internally. And sometimes the only way that we can know what's going on in here is how we feel out here, like in our outside world, how we experience people and or situations and or opportunities. The way that we experience those, or the narrative that comes out of that, is very much the mirror of the narrative that is going on in here. But now as adults, we have the power to change it. I'm going to attach a couple of videos that I have on core beliefs, because I think, and my teacher always supports me in this, that core beliefs are everything. It's the starting blocks of, it's like the amino acids of like your personality, like the way, like your personal reality. It's like the building blocks of who you are. I will attach those two, first to discover what yours are and then how to change them. And then in the next video, I'm going to talk about going through the levels of the human emotions as described by David R. Hawkins, to get rid of the ones that are like low vibration, because the vibrational frequency that we have very much by the law of attraction brings in our experiences. So we can go from low vibration to high vibration and rich enlightenment, where life just actually just feels blissful. With all my love and gratitude, if you liked anything about this video, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on podcast, watching on podcast, I appreciate any interaction, feedback, thumbs up, followings. I'm grateful for everything and anything, and so grateful to be here and be sharing all this knowledge, and so much love to you. Remember, there's nothing better than self-love. Self-love is the best love, and no one can love us. One can only love us to the amount of love that we can have for ourselves. So I'm wishing you 100 out of 10 self-love today and always. And with all my love, I'll see you next time.